I've been talking about the 6 keys to the science of motivation. Number 1 was ambition. Have a dream, have a desire, have a goal. Number 2, expectancy. Believe that you can figure it out and that you can do it and that it will come true. Number 3, focus every single day. Look at your goals, look at what you need to do. Number 4, this is huge, effort. Knock off 3 goals every single day to move forward, because with momentum, my friend, comes more motivation. We can prove it. Number 5, this is so huge for people, attitude. You know, right now we're surrounded by so many negative comments out there, so much cynicism, so many people who've given up and gotten tired. I know that's not you, but you have to improve your attitude if you want to go to the next level. We all do. You know, you got to learn how to meet people from a higher place of joy and presence. You have to have an outlook on each day that says, you know what, I can grow today, I can give today, I can create some surprises for some people, I can have some fun, I can get it done. And ultimately, number 6, environment. You got to set up an environment that allows you to win. That means from what your desk looks like, so that it's organized, or it's a way that you like to work, even if that's a creative mess, to the people that you hang out with. Your peers have a lot to do with the setting long-term of your health, of your drive, of your success, of your socioeconomic status. The people that you hang out with impact your life tremendously. So your environment, do you have the right people? If you don't have great people around you, I always tell people, go to a seminar, get in personal development, go volunteer, go to do things with your church group, but just get out there with people who are like-minded, who want to grow and want to give. Because if you're around people who want to grow and give all day long, you become stronger and you contribute more too. And suddenly you find more motivation and fulfillment. If you love these topics, then last chance, my friend, I want to give you a free copy of the Motivation Manifesto. I bought the book for you. You just pay your shipping and handling, receive it, and it comes with a 12-week online course on motivation to take you to that next level. This is about how do you master your mind so you have greater motivation. You know, I've spent 20 years studying the topic now, and over the last 10 years become the most followed high-performance coach in the world because of my knowledge of how to get people more motivation. Whether I'm coaching or training incredible people in groups like Usher and his band, or Oprah and her executive teams, it's because I just know how to give these little tidbits and these little delineations that give you the edge. So if this is your time to finally master your mind and have a greater level of motivation so you can achieve your dreams even more, then click the link on this page. I'll give you the book for free. You just pay your shipping and handling, and I'll give you that 12-week online course with me for free too. Look, 1 million people have graduated my online courses and my video series. 5 million followers on Facebook. It's because we get results. And this last piece, since I know you want results and you do want a better environment of people to be around, when you sign up today, we'll also send you our private Facebook group on motivation, as well as a private Facebook group with me where you can ask me any questions. I'm here for you. I want you to go out and there, crush it, and I always support my book readers. So click the link in the
Okay.
Motivation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good morning.
Good
A little
morning.
plug for Brendon Burchard, because I figured he gave us those tidbits, but he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, I just started reading this book, so High Performance Habits. It's really eye-opening, so that's awesome. It's cool. And yeah, I like what he says. Ambition, expecting your results, knowing what you're going for, focus, effort, attitude, and the environment you're surrounding yourself with. I like what you said yesterday, Brady, about cleaning up your office and getting that all ready. Same with me. So you have your work zone.
Yeah, I kind of fell off that yesterday, but today's the day.
I think it's important. Yeah, just because what I found is important. It's kind of like when you're in that spot, you know, it's go time. You're in the work mode. Like if it's at your kitchen table, then that's your go time. But I find if you move around, like I used to try to work at a Starbucks, it didn't work for me. You know? You're not in an environment where you're just you're comfortable. Your mind's in your action mode. That you know it's time to work. You know, and that's what the purpose of an office or an office space is. I think. You know, It's important.
Yeah, as
So
much as I
that's-
like the green for my videos, I might have to do without the green. I gotta get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
I need maybe blue, something more cheerful.
Oh,
I mean,
okay, but
anymore you don't.
I thought the purpose of the green was to put a background, no?
Well, it is, but anymore you really don't even have to have an actual green screen. It all works the same off any color.
Yeah. Doesn't it work better though? with
And
green?
it'll come out more clear. But I've got a, if you see that back against the wall, it's a big green sheet. So I can pull that. I can
On the
put
other
that
side.
anywhere. And
Yeah,
right there.
yeah, that side, yeah, okay.
That thing's like 10 by 12. I can cover this whole room with it. So I don't have to have every room, every wall colored green. Green's just too, I don't know,
Okay,
like living inside of a frog, I guess.
well, that's a good point, because, you know, when I used to work in the recording studios was all about the vibe and the feeling inside the studio, which was just as important as the microphone or the, you know, the type of equipment you had or what the room sounded like. It was about getting the person that's doing the performing into the right mode. So it's the same thing.
Yeah,
here,
I don't know. I'm getting kind of bored with the green, but you don't see the rest. I showed all this to Mark last week. He's like, "That's great." I said, "Yeah, it is when it's cleaned up." But right now, it's like a storeroom catch-all. So I've got a little desk. I'm gonna move it all out, clean it all up, put some posters up, do something to freshen it up.
yeah, and get that environment so you're happy, you know, you're happy.
Yeah.
Being,
Yeah.
I think it's important for everyone. I had a guy once that painted his office like red, fire engine red, because he told me when he was in there, he was like, okay, let's get it happening. Sales. Let's make it happen, make deals happen. And he was very successful, but red was kind of like, he thought he needed to fire himself up, which in his case, you know, you walked in there and I was like, whoa, you can feel it right away. Cool.
No,
And the other
actually,
important thing, I think, is our environment. Well, we're talking about environment, but like what I meant was like the people that we're hanging around. And I think it's important that our little group here, that we have that, you know, we're all on the same path. We're all on the same journey. We're all helping each other, and that's cool. And I think maybe we could use, we're talking about accountability partner. Well, why not just do accountability with the group, you know, what we've all committed to, so we can all hold each other kind of like, oh yeah, you said you were going to do this, or this is what your plan was. And I personally, I've never believed in that because I always felt pressured that way. But I think there's a way to everyone says it's important to have somebody to be accountable.
well,
to.
it is. I mean, if you don't have an accountability partner, all you can do is sit and lie to yourself. Yeah, oh, I'm busy. I'm super busy, and then you really look back and reflect on the day and say, I wasn't that busy. You know, I didn't do that much. But if you have to report to somebody and they say, hey, you know, you could have used that hour for income producing activities rather than sitting there staring at a wall or scrolling the news feeds, then you start thinking, well, yeah, now somebody else knows about this. I can't be lying to myself or others, and it will push you a little bit or a lot.
Yeah, so maybe if we could find a way of just keeping each other accountable for what we said we would do, but not having any pressure there, you know, of not tuning in because we're embarrassed that we didn't do anything.
Maybe we could, at the beginning of the week, like on the Mondays, set our like intentions for the week, and then like on Friday, we could just check in with each other and just say, how did we do with whatever it was that our intention was? And so it doesn't necessarily have to be a daily pressure, but it definitely is a way for us to kind of hold ourselves accountable, give ourselves a little bit of leeway in that we're giving ourselves the full 5 days, or because I don't usually check in on the weekends, it's my family time. So we give each other the 5 days to work on whatever it is. So like I know before, Don, you were like, I'm going to try to do the 25 a day. And then you're like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe that's too much, right? So like, but like for an example, like maybe the intention would be like this week, I'm going to reach out to more people than I did last week. And so every day, even if it's just by one more person, you've done that. And so for us, it doesn't have to be, well, did you do 25 every day? Like you said, Don, it's like, no, but I did do what I intended, which was to reach one more person than I did yesterday or last week or whatever. Like, just as we build ourselves up and get that confidence, and we've been practicing our skills. So because I've always felt like accountability partners were really like a confrontation. Like my personality is like a blue and a white. So I'm really like non-confrontational. I'm very easygoing, but I'm still passionate and driven, but like, I'm not trying to combat you. I don't want to be your competitor. I want to be your teammate. I want to run with you, and I want to encourage you, and I want you to encourage me, right? But I also believe we need that push.
Come on, lay down.
So I can see the benefit of it.
1 minute, lay down.
And then as we're becoming more comfortable with that muscle, like just easy. I mean, maybe that Mark would be like, okay, you're pussyfooting, but like, kind of moving towards that more so, you know what I mean? Like, I want us all to win. And I know that sometimes like that feeling can stop people. But like, if there's this ability to kind of flow into things, like we rise together, and I mean, even individually, but we rise. And so we encourage other people to rise. We encourage them to like do it. Like, that's why we all are like attached to Mark, right? Because we see what he's doing and we're encouraged that we can do it too. And then he shows it. And so we're like, okay, if he can do it, we can do it. He's always saying that. We will believe it. As he does it more and more, we do it more and more, and we all rise together. Maybe not the same speed, but we are all rising.
Yes. Yeah, cool. And that will be the inspiration enough. Even if one person in this group has success by the end of the week, that'll be like, wow, okay, I can do this too. Yeah, that gave me goosebumps. So that means it's the right thing.
Oh, yay.
So if we I like that. Monday will always be for what our intentions are. We can all talk about it, those who wish to. And then by Friday, we'll share our successes and where we've got to with those intentions at the end of the week, so we can share it with others. But what happened, maybe I only contacted one person this week, but it's better than nobody.
Yeah. And I think too, I wanted to say when you guys are talking about like the environment, I really do think for myself, especially, that this place is so important, this morning Zoom. For me, especially since it's it's like immediately after my shower, I jump into this Zoom. So this is how I start my day. And because I am working on this by myself, and because it is a super hard challenge and everything, like our group is such an encouragement to me. And it really does. It's like being in like that millionaire mastermind space with people who are like-minded about health and wealth and this business opportunity. So I just wanted to honor you guys and say thank you guys for showing up consistently and sharing yourselves with me. I'm learning a lot, and I really do value and appreciate this time that we spend together.
Yeah, me too. That's awesome.
As corny as that sounds, I know.
That sums it up perfectly. And I like the idea. It is a mastermind space. We're sharing with each other and we're masterminding, and that's awesome. That's an awesome part of it. And we're masterminding based on we're all working on the same thing. It's not like we were all in separate businesses and doing separate things. Yeah, that's great masterminding too, but we're working on the same thing. So we're experiencing the same thing, successes and failures. So that's cool. Yeah, so I like that. Monday to be a, what's your intentions for the week? Whoever wants to share them. And then Friday is what do you want to call it? A follow-up, or you can share your successes for the end, what happened in the week.
Yeah, and it should not be a critique of each other.
Yeah, right.
Not criticism. I mean, some people, everybody's got to move at their own pace.
Because I might not even show up if I feel like that I didn't achieve what I
Right.
We don't want to have that, right?
Yeah, I didn't do anything. I'm not going to show up and tell everybody I didn't do anything.
Yeah, because it's embarrassing telling you, like you said, Dia, it's even telling yourself you didn't do what you told yourself you were going to do. And I think, you know, one of the most important elements is how much time did you put into what you said you were going to put into without getting distracted with not putting any time into it. I don't know about anyone else, but for me, that's going to be the challenge.
Yeah, I get challenged with the like I'm a definite planner, organizer, like that's my happy space. So like I've got already like little worksheets made and you know that are going to be like what's my BV and how many points do I need for the day and all this stuff. Well, that's my comfort zone. So of course that was just a big convenient distraction, totally helpful, totally like this is a key part of my 90-day run. And so I'm glad that I'm doing it now before the 90-day run, because it certainly would have been just a way for me to avoid doing the hard part, which for me is still talking to like all of the people. I start getting through like 4 or 5 people, they don't reply, they're rude or whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to take a break and I'm going to work on my spreadsheet a little more, you know, it's just like, or like somebody will come in and they'll say something like, you know, oh, you're not a manager yet. I thought you said you're going to be a manager by November 20th. Well, November 20th is come and gone, like obviously. And then I'll hear, well, you don't want it hard enough and you're not working. It's just like, well, fuck, okay, fine. Then I'm just gonna go and take a shower, like, because I don't need this negativity. So it, like I said, like this space is so important because it's a reminder of why, you know, we push through all of that hard negative stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But it's easy to find ways to be distracted and doing all the right thing, all the good things, not the best things, but good things for sure. That's my trap.
Yeah, I agree.
And how much money are you making? How much money are you making? You've been doing this for 9 months. Or you've been doing this for 1 month. Like, are you making money now?
I'm making money, but not enough to like my lunch every. That's it. Not every meal, just lunch.
Yeah. I broke up a little
Girl,
bit.
if I'm trying to have a full day's meals, I need to work harder.
But that's what you get from all the people that know you well. I find they ask that question all the time because they're thinking in a employee worker kind of standpoint. You put in a week's worth of work, you get paid for a week's worth of work at a minimum.
Yeah.
So that's another big challenge, especially not that I care, but it's not easy when people say, you know, ask that question all the time. And then it makes you think, wow, I put in all these hours of work and, you know, what have it really gotten to? But I think we have to see in the future, you know, project into the future where that stuff is coming through and that's going to change everything.
Yeah. You get what you visualize, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And you got to do the work. That's one thing that like is super consistent in everyone's any salesperson's, you know, conversation that I've heard. The most consistent thing is you've got to know your numbers. And that just boils right back down to Mark's statement about it's a mathematical certainty. Once we know our numbers, it's a mathematical certainty. The reason that the 90-day works is because it's a mathematical certainty, and success loves speed, right? So the faster we do the numbers, then the faster we're going to get the result. So the hardest part is just doing the numbers. And I think that's for all of us, really. Like, it doesn't sound like any of us lack the ability to share what we're passionate about, which is health and wellness and financial freedom from, you know, taxes and all of that crap that seem like we're drowning in it, right? But it seems like the hardest challenge is talking to people consistent, like for the amount of time that we need to get those numbers. You know, like I still don't know. Do I need to talk to 20 people to get one yes? Or is it 30 people? I don't really know, because I'll start talking to people and it turns, whatever. And then I take a break and I'm not tracking anymore. And I'll just go back in and I'm starting to just hit people up, but I'm not tracking it. So I don't know my numbers. I have numbers, but I don't know what they are. So because of that, I can't sit down every day and say, okay, I need to talk to 30 people today, because I know if I talk to 30, I'm going to get the one. My consistency is still sloppy in that tracking sense. And that's really just been a challenge of mine for many years, is the tracking. It just gets boring, or it's too much, or like my internet is slow. And so I'm trying to have a conversation and then it's lagging. And so I'm going to go into my spreadsheet and that just slows my computer down more and blah, blah, blah. Like there's all kinds of BS excuses, but what it boils down to is like, I'm not tight on my tracking. So I don't know my numbers. So I don't know what I'm working. So when I get frustrated, it's much easier for me to quit because I don't know what I'm working for the day. So that is the one thing that I really, really, really have to like get down, is my tracking. Even if I just do tally marks at this point, I just got to get a way to get my numbers tracked that works for me. And like sometimes the spreadsheet, the writing, all of that, it just isn't. In the moment, it isn't working for me right now. I've got to figure out something better so I can get my numbers. Because I know once I know my numbers, I'll do it.
I think Mark had a good idea, which I'm going to do also. And I heard from somebody else, you just use little Post-it notes. A little post, just write the name, a phone
Stick it
number
on
if
a
you have it,
Post-it.
whatever information, write it down. And then if you got a big wall, you can put it up and do it by colors, maybe initial contact, first follow up, yes or no. I mean, if it's a no, you might want to toss it unless you're going to continue to follow up, and just keep moving those down the line and do it that way. Rather than trying, because I was going to put it on a spreadsheet and I'm thinking, holy crap, 30 a day. Yeah, stop, put the names in. This way, you just write it down on a Post-it, stick it to the wall and keep moving.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I'm willing to try it.
I've seen him do that, right?
Well, he did that with when he first started and had his
Yeah, the
little
launch.
pyramid, little
Yeah.
legs going.
Yeah.
But in this one, I don't know what leader it was doing it. I can't remember. I think it was just 2 days ago I saw it. But they had the whole wall. I mean, one color of all initial contacts, just a name. Then you go back to Facebook, if that's where you contacted them at, and look them up to do your follow-up and just move that down the wall as you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. At least you could visually see it. It's like a vision board kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Because I don't want to start using a spreadsheet like the one he had originally, because then you got to sit and you got to type that out on there. Then you got to go back and check it, and make sure you follow up each day when it's changing. And you won't maybe not have time to do that. But if you can just glance up and say, hey, that was my initial yesterday. 3 days from now, I'm going to follow up with that person. I'll move it down the line and continue on.
Yeah, just put their name on a Post-it note of a certain color.
Yep.
And then like an initial contact or whatever, put it up on the board so you can follow up with that person.
But you need to have a big wall also.
Yeah, right.
You might end up with hundreds of them.
Yeah, that's okay. It'll make you feel better, I think.
Well, if you looked up and said, hey, I contacted 20 people yesterday, I'm gonna move them down to my follow-up. I contacted 20 more, and it starts adding up. You go, oh, I am doing work. I am contacting people.
Yeah, or even change the color of the Post-it note or something. Okay, this person is in, it's in a different color. And I saw might do that too. Once somebody was in as a silver or a gold, different color, and then they went up on the board. Yeah. Okay. I didn't think about that. It's actually because I find tracking is so important because it gives you a sense of what you've been doing, and I also find it overwhelming. So it's kind of hard to do because you get overwhelmed with it, and it's like already. It's just a mess. So it's important to sort that out. And it's important. I also think it's important to realize that this 30, 60, and 90 day formula, right? So some people can make a decision right away. Like as soon as you talk to them, they're in or out, and they can make that decision. But that's only like 3% of people that will make that decision right away. Okay, I'm out, I'm in. The rest of the people will take 30 days to make that decision. You have to follow up with them, and they take 30 days. Some people take 60 days. Some people take 90 days. So if you don't, that's the purpose of a 90-day run. So if you do a 90-day run and you're at 90 days, now you get now you're talking to people that can make a decision right away. Now you're talking to people that need 60 days, 30 days, 90 days. So at the end of 90 days, you've got all this stuff happening. You've got all these things people you talked to 90 days ago. So we got to realize in the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, there might not be any momentum, any results. And then it starts to build if you keep at it long enough. And that's a scientific, maybe it's a mathematical certainty, or it's a scientific certainty that's the way people's minds work. We all think, I don't know, I do. I think as soon as somebody sees this, they got to be in right away. Like, why would they not be?
Right?
And again, it depends on, you got to look at the person or figure out real quick, are they product minded or business minded? Because if you say the wrong thing, they're not interested in building a business at all. And you say, well, you know, you make money doing blah, blah, and that turns them off. No, I'm not getting into that big scam. No matter how good the product is. But if you start with, if it's somebody that needs a product and you start with that, they may say, well, let me take a look. And you got to follow up a few times, but eventually they buy the product. And once they come in with the product, then they figure out, oh, it does work. Oh, I'll just show it to somebody else. I can make money off that. Okay, I'll give it a shot. But it depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we're going to learn as we get into the mud, as we get into the trenches, we start to get a feel for where people are at right away. You know, it's happening all the time. And, you know, many of us know it, but if we're doing it every day, it's a whole different thing. You know, it's like if I pick up the guitar every once a month and practice for an hour, it's way different than if I'm playing it every day. It's like, it's crazy what the difference is.
Which comes to exactly what I'm thinking of. Can I share my screen for a 2-minute video?
Yeah, cool. Share that. And there's a comment from Rod, which is awesome. Love this meeting. Thank you, everybody. Each of us will play a part in the success of everybody.
Yep.
Right on, Rod.
Yeah, give me access.
Oh, yeah. You got to give me it. Hold on. Okay.
There we go. Just happened to see this pop up earlier from Eric Worre. Oops, where'd it go?
You know what I've found to be the biggest key to learning when it comes to growing a big business and becoming more skilled? Repetition. Repetition, 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 repetition. Too many people read a book one time, they never go back and look again, and they don't get the value of repetition. Too many people listen to an audio program one time, and they don't get the value of the repetition. Too many people watch a video one time, and they don't get the value of repetition. Repetition built my chops, built my skills, built my mindset. It burned a new groove in my mind. Too many people are tourists when it comes to personal growth, and not enough students. Students engage in repetition because repetition is the mother of skill.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Repetition is the mother of skill. And it's the same thing with guitar. It's repetition. Everyone says, oh, you have such a talent. It's not a talent. It's work and practice. Yeah, and I believe that can be done with anything. So that's cool.
Yeah, just like babies, right? Learning to walk. They just fall down, get up. They just keep practicing. And next thing you know, they're running and we can't catch them. Like, it's repetition, you know, and I think the only difference is that babies have no ego and we do, right? And so
Yep.
Babies have no problem falling down, crying, getting up, trying while they're crying. We are embarrassed, ashamed. We are pressed down with the whatever dramas of life that it makes us not want to like keep doing the basics. But like, I've been telling my kids that the fundamentals, I got 2 boys that are trying out for basketball. And I'm like, they like want to watch Kobe Bryant and learn all these trick plays. And I was like, dude, can you dribble the ball without looking walking forward? Can you do it running forward? Can you stop? Can you dribble sideways? Can you pass? Like, do you have the fundamentals down? Because never mind a trick play. Like, it's great to know it, sure. But if you can't dribble and walk without traveling, causing a penalty or a foul, bro, you're no good to the team. So let's just be clear, get the fundamentals down. I just keep reminding myself, I mean, being a parent is such a great way to personally develop when you have your own personal goal. It's like you get to reflect on everything that they're doing and how we're trying to train them up, and then be like, oh yeah, let me reparent myself. I need to practice walking so that I can run, you know? And it's hard. It's hard, but it's so worth it. And that's one thing that I have not yet heard anyone who's even been moderately successful in this industry say. It is so worth it. Like, every pain is so worth it. And the fruit of our industry is such that we like Eric says, like, it looks so hard in the beginning, but if you put in that grit in the beginning, then later on, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else, I feel bad for them in the pyramid, because they're going to work. They're going to retire. They're going to be barely living. They're going to be barely.
Yeah.
That we can be millionaires well into our children's lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have that opportunity. So we just have to, like, get it down.
Yeah, and especially if we're compressing it to that 90-day window, it's like, just get it done. And it doesn't matter where we end up in 90 days, as long as we put the work into it and we feel confident that we gave it a try, you know. It's awesome. And you know what the other thing is too, we always don't realize that we think we can't do something, and we're not good at it, but really that comes with what you're talking about. Once we get the fundamentals down and we know them, then it's a habit, and then we're good at it. And then, but if you never get to that, like guitar, you think you're not good at guitar, but it's really, you haven't practiced enough. You haven't worked at it enough. You haven't focused on it enough. And once you do it, it's easy. And then you know it. And then you think, you know, same with this, what we're doing. You just think, oh, well. So once we are practiced at it, and we've done it, and we've done the repetition, then we're going to be good at it, right? We know we will be.
I like the analogy you were saying, break it, 30, 60, 90. I like the analogy of there's 12 months in a year. There's 12 weeks in 90 days. So each week is a month. And if I look back at the last, how long we've been doing this, 6, 7 months, whatever. And I say, okay, well, if each one of those months is a week, and I'm going to condense it into a week, I say, well, each week, since I've been doing this, I really haven't done shit. I mean, a month's worth of, you're going to condense that into a week. Well, that means in every month I've been in this, each week, I really haven't done anything.
Right. And you can look at it like this last 9 months, you could fit the work into 1 week. If you did it in 1 week, all the stuff we've done in 9 months can be done in 1 week.
Yeah. If you just start practicing the repetition, get it down. The first day we do this, it's not going to be great. You're going to fumble around. You're not going to know what, but if you continue to do it each day, maybe by the 3rd, 4th week, you really get into it. The next 60 days, you'll be bringing people in, talking to them. You'll have your routine down. So see how it works out.
Awesome. That was awesome. We're out of time. Cool.
Almost.
So I like that idea. Mondays will be what are your intentions for the week, and then we're going to follow up with each other on Friday, and it's going to be great.
And I guess you're going to go enjoy the sun now.
I am. Can you see it coming in? Just going in the window here. And you know what? I can see whales out there. They just showed up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You know how I can see whales? Is when there's boats around them. Yeah, the spout too, but I look for the boat. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Okay, have an awesome day. Good seeing you. Good seeing you.
Bye, Jan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks,
Bye,
Rob.
Thanks to everybody.
Great seeing you guys. Okay, awesome.
See you on Monday, friends.
Okay.